そうはいかねえ。さらに手札からマジックカードスタープラスター発動。モンスター1体を生贄にサイコロを振り、そのモンスターとサイコロの目を合計したレベルのモンスターを手札から特殊召喚できる。一刀両断侍のレベルは2、サイコロが5、合わせてレベル7のモンスター。おい、レッドアイズブラックドラゴン。
Hey guys, welcome back to Team 6K. This is Undead, and today we're going to be talking about Red Eyes. Before we get into the video, be sure to go ahead and check out our last video. But yeah guys, let's get into this discussion about Red Eyes real quick. So, when Weatherman and I talked about the ban list, we did kind of recognize that the Red Eyes skill was buffed. We didn't quite realize on first glance just how buffed it was. The fact that you don't have to play that many Red Eyes monsters in your deck, and the fact that the skill only searches for back row now, makes it a lot better. It's way more consistent than it ever was, and now, like, legitimately, it's kind of competitive, not gonna lie. But, you know, this isn't a video telling you that the deck is good. This is a video telling you how to play it. So let's just take a look at that skill real quick. So, Red Eyes Roulette. You choose one from the following monsters and add it to your deck from outside of your deck. Well, let's just have a look at these monsters real quick. So we got Summon Skull, Meteor Dragon, Red Eyes Impact, Meteor Dragon, Gearfried the Red Eyes Iron Knight, Gearfried the Iron Knight, and Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning. So you can add one of these guys to your deck, probably because of a fusion material for Red Eyes Fusion. Then you add a random Red Eyes spell or trap card from deck to hand, and then return a Red Eyes card from your hand to the deck. So if you happen to have a Red Eyes card in your deck, that being one of these guys, right, it will randomly select the Red Eyes Fusion, Red Eyes Insight, or Red Eyes Fang with Chain. Then you can put back one of those monsters. It's even better if you get Red Eyes Insight because it's basically a search spell. But let's get back into the skill real quick. The skill can only be used if you begin the duel with a deck excluding the extra deck that has 10 or more Red Eyes cards, including at least 5 Red Eyes monsters. So that minimum of 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't need to play anymore because the Red Eyes monsters are actually not very good to have in your hand. Also, the fact that we can shuffle them back into the deck with this skill is great, so that we can have a hand full of back row. But you know, still have to have a complete 10, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have the 12. It's just that most of them are back row, right? But what back row are we actually trying to get here? We're trying to get Red Eyes Fusion. This is the heart and soul of the deck right here. Fusion summon a fusion monster that lists a Red Eyes monster as material from your extra deck using monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion materials, and if you do, its name becomes Red Eyes Black Dragon, and you cannot normal or special summon other monsters the time you activate this card. You can only use one per turn as well. So, you get this one summon, it's the only summon you get to do that turn. That's alright, because our fusion monsters are pretty chunky. We have Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. It requires a Red Eyes normal monster, that being Red Eyes Black Dragon himself, and a level 6 Archfiend normal monster. So that is why we would use the skill to put Summon Skull into the deck, because it is a Archfiend normal monster, right? And if it battles, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. They might not even read this. They might just let you go into the battle phase, let you attack, and not notice that they can't respond to your attack. Also, if damage calculation is performed using this Fusion Summon card, at the end of the battle phase, you can target a Red Eyes normal monster in your grave, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half its attack in the grave, and then shuffle it into the deck. So, after attacking with this guy, you shuffle the Red Eyes Black Dragon back into the deck, and then because Red Eyes has 2400 attack, you are dealing 1200 burn to your opponent. That is a lot of burn to do, especially because this guy has 3200 attack. If you attack directly with this guy, then burn him, that is game. That is GG's. Meteor Black Comet Dragon is another one we go into often. It requires a level 7 Red Eyes monster, of course Red Eyes Black Dragon, and a level 6 Dragon type monster. So normally we're going to be using Mana Dragon Zernatron, but we'll get into that in a second. And if this card is fusion summoned, you can send a Red Eyes monster from your hand or deck to the grave. Then if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to a quarter of the original attack of that monster. And if this card is sent from the monster zone to the grave, you can target one of your normal monsters in grave, special summon it. So it requires a level 6 dragon, of course, the Mana Dragon Zernatron, which basically, in grave or hand, if one of your back rows gets destroyed or banished, then you get to special summon it and then put that back row back on the field face down. So, you know, it disincentivizes your opponent from getting rid of your back row, right? And also the fact that Black Comet sends something to grave, you can send another Red Eyes Black Dragon to potentially be used for the Necro Fusion. Necro Fusion being the trap that basically Miracle Fusion on the opponent's turn to summon anything. And we're going to use 2 dragons to summon Borrowload Furious Dragon. It requires only 2 Dark Dragon monsters. We can summon that Borrowload Furious, and why we would do that is because it has the quick effect that you can target a monster you control and one card your opponent controls and destroy them. The fact that it can destroy one of your monsters to destroy one of their cards is fantastic. Another thing is that if you use this alongside Meteor Blackmob Dragon, you can destroy the Meteor Blackmob Dragon, and then when it's destroyed, it will re-summon one of your Red Eyes, so you know, it's like a free pop kind of thing. And the last fusion we have, we're not going to summon this one as much, but it's not bad, is Red Eyes Slash Dragon. Requires Red Eyes Black Dragon specifically and any warrior, so we could use the Gear Freed Red Eyes Iron Knight from the deck. We could also put one in the deck using the skill, or just a regular Gear Freed, doesn't matter too deeply, we don't care about the effect much. We just care that it's a warrior to be used for a Slash Dragon. And when a Red Eyes monster declares an attack, you can target a warrior monster in your graveyard, equip it to this card as an equip spell that gives this card 200 bonus attack. And when a card or effect is activated that targets a card you control, quick effect, you can send an equipped card you control to the grave, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. And if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon as many monsters from your graveyard as possible that were equipped to this card. So the fact that it only negates targeting effects is kind of silly, and the fact that, you know, you kind of have to wait to attack with it in order to get an equip on it is kind of silly as well. But we can kind of offset that using the Red Eyes Fang with Chain, which becomes an equip spell. So this one targets a Red Eyes monster you control, equip this card to it, and it can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase, so that's pretty nice. But you can send this equip card to the grave because it's a trap. You can do it as a quickie. The target a effect monster on the field, equip that target to the monster this card was equipped to, and if you do, while the monster is equipped to it by this effect, its attack and defense become equal the original attack and defense of that equipped monster. So if your opponent summons a monster that's really annoying, you can steal it and make it that monster an equip spell, and if they want to target you after that, the Red Eyes Slash could send that to grave to negate it, so that's pretty cool. And we only play this as a bonus searchable thing if we already happen to have Red Eyes Fusion, because of course we already have it, right? We don't need another one. Speaking of searching, we have Red Eyes Insight. It sends a Red Eyes monster from hand or deck to grave, then it searches a Red Eyes spell trap. So this is the search thing we want. Red Eyes Roulette is either going to add Red Eyes Fusion, Red Eyes Insight, or Red Eyes Fang with Chain. We're hoping to get the Insight or the Fusion. You know, technically you could cut the Fang with Chain if you wanted to, that would be okay, to guarantee that you're always getting the Red Eyes Fusion or the Red Eyes Insight with this skill. But it's really not that deep. You're almost always going to have Red Eyes Fusion in some way anyway. And then we kind of fill the deck with a bunch of staples, pretty much. And the reason for that is because we don't really want to draw too many of our monsters here. We want them to stay in the deck for our fusion, and having one in the hand is great because we can put it into the deck with the skill, but if we have more than one, it's kind of in the hand for no reason. We want to have a hand full of back row, so putting more back row in the deck lowers the possibility of us having the monsters in our deck and increases the possibility that we're going to have back row. Now, I have the back row that I prefer in this deck, but you can 100% play different back row. You can play what you have. All that matters is you're playing these. This is the main core of the deck. We fill the deck with a whole bunch more back row, but as long as you have these specifically, because the Necro Fusion is important to get out that Borrowload Furious Dragon, as long as you have these, you're fine, and you can whatever other back row you have. But these are the ones I prefer, so these are the ones I play. Pick your own poison. This is just what I prefer. I also happen to play a Dingirsu in here. If I just so happen to get a couple of level 8s on the field, then I could go into a Dingirsu if the opponent has something I can't deal with. I know that nobody plays Lunalight, but if they happen to summon a Lunalight Saber Dancer and it's big enough, then it's not as likely that I'm going to be able to deal with it. Unless I hard open a Ice Dragon's Prison, but having a couple of options to get rid of it is nice. Of course, I also have the Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix. You know, we got the room, so might as well play them. Best links in the game, you know what I mean? And apart from that, the deck is fairly simple. There's not really a combo in this deck. The combo is activate Red Eyes Fusion, set 3 back row. And it could not get any simpler than that. So if you wanted a combo tutorial, that's what it is. Just activate Red Eyes Fusion, GG's, that's your combo. But yeah guys, let's get into the replay, shall we? This deck is very good. Alright, so I'm going second here against Orcust, so they're going to use their return. They're going to set a couple and a monster. That's pretty normal for some versions of pure Orcust, unfortunately, but gonna Cosmic one of their back row. It happens to be another Cosmic. I'm pretty happy about that. That's a Cosmic they're not using on my back row. So I'm gonna use the skill, get a Red Eyes Fusion, send the Red Eyes back, activate that Red Eyes Fusion real quick, go into the Meteor Blackmob Dragon, and send something else. He's gonna book me. I don't care too deeply. But I'm going to be able to set 3 back row, and one of them won't be turned on because I won't be able to use Red Eyes Fang with Chain because I'm not going to be able to equip it because I don't have a face-up Red Eyes, but he's going to have the combo. I'm going to use IDP to get rid of one of his machines and his other machine, and he's going to be forced to end his turn. That's how it goes. But anyway, I top deck a Red Eyes Insight. It happens a lot in this deck, so I'm going to send the Archfiend of Lightning, search a Red Eyes Fusion, flip my guy up, and summon Archfiend Black Skull Dragon because he can't respond to this guy's attack. So I'll attack in with this guy. The reason I do that is because if I can perform damage calculation with this guy, then I'll be able to burn him. So I, attack and then shuffle the Red Eyes back to burn him for game. That's GG's. Quick and easy. Easiest deck you ever seen in your life. So I'm going first. I activate Red Eyes Fusion. I had it in the hand. Must be nice. So I'm going to go into Meteor Black Comet Dragon, same as I always do. Set some back row, of course. It is annoying that I do have 2 copies of Necro Fusion, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? So he's going to activate Dark Contract with a gate. I'm going to let it happen. He's going to search DB Swell Slime, which is going to summon his back row negate. So he's going to do that. I'm going to chain Necro Fusion so he can't negate Necro Fusion. So I'm going to summon that Burrowload Furious Dragon real quick. He's going to summon his Genghis, and in order to prevent him from getting the summon from grave effect of the Genghis, I'm just going to use the Burrowload right away, not distribute, but destroy my own Comet to also destroy his Genghis. And that'll allow my Comet to float into a Red Eyes. I have equal advantage. He summons Night Howl, which I was scared of at first, but I'm going to Warning Point it. So that's nice. So he's going to use Swell Slime, summon another Night Howl from hand, and that's nothing. I'm just going to attack him for game. It's easy. I don't even need to set another Necro Fusion because I already have one on the field. Alright, so I happen to be going against Odd-Eyes Orcust, which sucks for me, but I got the Red Eyes Fusion, so I can go into my Comet right away, set my 3 back row, just as normal, send a Red Eyes as well, pretty cool, and see if we can do anything about it. So he activates Pendulum Call to get his Dragon Pit and his Oath, and he's going to activate that pit, and I am going to Cosmic it right off bat so he doesn't remove my back row. And he's going to activate a Time Gazer and an Oath, so he's not removing my back row here. Then he gets to use the Oath Dragon, sorry, not the Oath Dragon, my bad, the Raging Pendulum skill, get whatever he needs, and then he can Pendulum Summon whatever he wants, but I got a little trap for him in the back. So he's going to Pendulum Summon 4 monsters, and that's going to be met by a point of warning, if you will. He's going to use the Orcust Nightmare to send a World Legacy World 1 to grave so he can boost himself up, but he's not big enough to beat over the Meteor Black Comet Dragon, even though he sends another level 10. Sorry, level 8, my bad. But unfortunately, I don't draw into anything that can help me break him down further, but I do have a warning point to stop whatever Xyz he wants to go into. So I'm going to attack into him. I attack into the Odd-Eyes here, because if I attack into one of his main monster zones, then he's just going to be able to, like, you know, get it back anyway. He's forced to Pendulum Summon the Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon back here, if anything, so that's what I'm hoping for. But he goes into a Dark Rebellion, and I'm going to, unfortunately, have to Warning Point it because I don't want my guy to get reduced. But he's going to be able to use his Orcust combo here, go into the Galatea, and I'm going to respond to that with an IDP, banish his Galatea, and one of my things, Oath Dragon's going to add him back in Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. He hasn't Pendulum Summoned yet, but he's going to be able to Pendulum Summon now. So he goes into these two, he goes into Volofernagus. He's not going to be able to attack if he uses the Volo, so he ends his turn. I top deck a Necro Fusion. Must be nice to be me, but I'm going to attack into his Volo. He's going to destroy it. Black Comet is going to revive my Red Eyes. I'm going to revive it in defense because he can't destroy either of these guys. But on attack declaration, because I don't want him to be able to follow up after I do it, on attack declaration I use Necro Fusion to summon the Burrowload Furious, destroy my Red Eyes and his bigger monster so he can't be over me, and now I have the field advantage now. So I'm going to set my Chalice, attack into him. Hopefully that'll be enough. It is, so I'm going to use Red Eyes Roulette because I haven't used that yet. I'm going to be able to put the Archfiend back to get a Red Eyes Fusion, so I'm going to activate that Red Eyes Fusion right now. Going for the Archfiend Black Skull Dragon because he can't respond to its attack. So I'm going to attack and burn him for 12 at the end of it. And yeah, attack him for game. That's GG's. Yeah, man. Did I just beat Odd-Eyes Orcust, bro? Yeah, I think I did. I think I did beat Odd-Eyes Orcust with Red Eyes. Who would have thought that Red Eyes could have pulled something off like that? Not me. Not me. Who would have thought? So who would have thought that Red Eyes would ever be this good of a deck? That's crazy, man. Red Eyes is actually popping off. It's very easy to play too. It's one of the easiest decks I ever played. And if you wanted proof for how good this deck is, Loom, which you probably know, Loom, alright? If you know me, you definitely know Loom, alright? But Loom got to King of Games with it this season. That's pretty awesome. Hell yeah. Good on him for that. You can definitely do it too. Well, I mean, I guess it does depend on what back row you have, because the back row, it's not like it carries it, but it's like you need the back row. You know what I mean? They are a relevant part of the strategy. You can't just play some nothing back row. But let me know how you feel about Red Eyes, bro. I feel very, very happy about it. I'm happy that Red Eyes has finally reached its potential in Duel Links. And yeah, if you have any questions about the deck, be sure to leave them in the comments. We can talk about it. Let us know how you feel about Red Eyes. Join the Team 6K Discord if you want to talk about Red Eyes or anything else Yu-Gi-Oh related. And yeah, guys, if you like the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Hit that bell to get notified every time we make a new video. And I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Wait, hey, I feel like the greatest. Now I feel like they hate it. Now I feel like the only one and there is no debating. Man, I feel like they leaving. Now I feel like they waited. Now I feel like this is the feeling before I can make it. Before I hit the stage, I just feel like I'm nauseous. Or I feel like I'm popping. Or I feel like a boss is. Maybe I'm feeling off it. Or I feel like I'm toxic. Maybe feeling intoxicated is the reason for all this. I wanna whip it with the top down, dog, like I'm Earth Gang. Told him, listen, wild day shine like my first name. Told me go and grab a titty, boy, it's my first chain. I ain't even switch gears yet, it's the first lane. The first pain I ever felt was the worst pain. Then church came, and that feeling of hurt came. Then her name made this feeling all worth pain. She made me realize what I had felt in the first place.